know it's been said repeatedly over the last couple of years, but E3 is dead. And I mean like officially dead. It's early here in the morning, so I'm not quite put together, but the ESA tweeted out just a few minutes ago, after more than 2 decades of E3, each one bigger than the last, the time has come to say goodbye. Thanks for the memories. And that's the entire message. So apparently E3 is no more, like officially not on hiatus, not going back to regroup after 2022's kind of disastrous last minute cancellation of E3. Here we are with just nothing. We don't have an E3 going forward. And I know that a lot of people are going to say, good, this is what, this is E3's kind of outdated. It's not needed. But it's a loss for the industry, truly. I think a lot of people don't realize just how many games got made because of E3. And also, E3 still served as a focal point for the industry. Obviously, Summer Games Fest has been building up in recent years. We attended in 2023, and it was a great time. But it still wasn't at the scale or spectacle of E3, and maybe that's by design, because one of the complaints about E3 over the years was that it was getting too big. They kind of put the final nail in the coffin when they opened it to the public, which expanded the show floor without really having any more physical space, adding merch booths and stuff like that. But I'm going to miss E3. I'm going to lament the loss of E3 because it's where I really got my foothold in the industry, and it's where a lot of fledgling journalists got their footholds in the industry. It's where lots of people made connections, and it was one of the few events that was big enough and important enough to serve as a focal point for everybody in games, whether you were making them, critiquing them, or just playing them. Everybody who was anybody in games, players, journalists, developers, publishers, everybody looked to Los Angeles for 1 week every June to see what was next for the medium that we all enjoy. So, rest in peace, E3. I want to know what you think, though. Is E3 being dead a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Is something going to take its place, or are we just going to have kind of a hole in our calendars in June? Is Jeff Keighley going to make Summer Games Fest that much bigger to account for the official loss of E3? Now, I think a lot of people in the industry have known that E3 is going away and have been planning for a while. I think publishers clearly have, decided not to support E3 for the last few years, Sony being the first major one to pull out of it, followed by Microsoft. And Nintendo, while they never officially said they weren't going to support E3, that last attempt at E3 this year really kind of signaled that major publisher support was gone. If you remember in 2023, Bandai Namco and a bunch of others were still on board to support E3, but none of the really big guys that brought kind of the most spectacular booths, like Nintendo's Breath of the Wild booth that had like a life-sized Link in it. None of those big guys seemed to be as interested as they previously were. I think the pandemic combined with opening to the public just kind of showed publishers that they maybe didn't need E3 the way it was. And who knows what truly happened here? The ESA seems to have just kind of fumbled this one and then never really recovered. They brought in ReedPop, the people who do PAX, and even they couldn't get the show back off the ground, though no official reason has been given why it failed. But anyway, that's it. E3 is dead. It's a sad day, to be honest. I'm pretty bummed out about this. It's not a great way to start my morning. But sound off in the comments. Let me know what you think about E3, and I guess we'll figure out where we're going next from here. Until next time, folks. Bye.